Hi, welcome to Vic Firth Video Online Lessons. Today I'm going to be working on something from my other book called Rhythmic Concepts, Broken Eighth Note Feel. And in this we're going to show you about this feel that maybe you don't know about, maybe you do. It's referred to open playing more. It's a jazz feel pretty much, but not based on triplets. It's based on a flow of eighth notes. So I'll be playing a little of those, both feels, so you can hear the difference and give you some reference point to it. But a little background about this style from the broken eighth note feel is it began back in the 60s, as far as I can be able to tell, back with the mix of gospel and R&B and boogaloo and stuff like that. If you've done any listening to jazz and acid jazz, funk jazz from the 60s, it's a part of this music where the flow is based on 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, ding, jinka, ding, jinka, ding, jinka, ding. We got da, dicka, da, dicka, da, dicka, da, dicka, da, dicka, da, dicka, da, for the feel in this. And one of the first things that I heard was, back when I was younger, obviously, was Les McCann. And he had a series of recordings called like The Shampoo, The Shout, Get a Little 3/4 in Your Soul, stuff like that. But they're all kind of based on this feel. And it was a mix of blues and for sure gospel in the case of The Shout and The Shampoo. In a jazz context, but not using those triplets. So I'll play some of the triplet bass stuff that you might be familiar with for a jazz flow. And then we'll hear some of the broken eighth note. So the triplet bass feel is like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Now the other feel that we're working on with this broken eighth note is based on eighth notes. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now for me, how I was able to like develop this, coming through listening to many different artists from that period. Roy Haynes, still happening today with this great feel. Very loose and open. Tony Williams, Jack DeJohnette, so some of the stuff with Charles Lloyd. A little bit later on into the 70s, Jon Christensen, that great Norwegian drummer. Many drummers, Peter Donnell into the 70s. In the 80s with different drummers. Eric, no, it'd be Clarence Penn, I'm sorry, and Billy Stewart into the 90s. Many different guys that have made this a cornerstone of their playing. You can refer to the list that we'll probably put up so you can see some of the, I think there's like 40 influential tunes from me over that time span from the 60s to now that were really helpful in unlocking this style. I'm just trying to present like a doorway for you to how to enter this, because when we hear it going full blast, it's like what was that? Because it's so open, there's so much going on. It's not like a bass line ostinato, there's not a hi-hat ostinato. We start moving that flow of eighth notes around our whole body to sustain the flow. It's not in a musical performance situation. It's not patterns so much you're thinking about, but different sound combinations that make this up, that reinforce a flow. Now I'd like to play some of this style for you. This is going to be based on one of those Charles Lloyd tunes that I listened to with Jack DeJohnette playing on it. And it's based on a 16-bar song. And I will be playing that in my head at least for you. I'm not going to play the melody on the drum set, but just play this style, this broken eighth. It's fast, it's open. I'll try to do a lot of different combinations to show you, and then later on show you how I was able to like make an entrance into this style. So that was a few choruses of that 16-bar tune by Charles Lloyd called Bird Flight. And then the original, it opens up with just Jack DeJohnette and Charles Lloyd, the tenor saxophones, just burning over this intro of this broken eighth note feel. So I tried to recreate some of that energy from that. As you can tell, like, you might have been able to pick out the hi-hat in that. That might have been the only reference, but I didn't only play it on 2 and 4, sometimes on all 4. Lots of different combinations of right foot and right hand together. Both hands together with the bass drum in between. The left hand around the drum set with the right hand, the cymbal and the bass drum together. And then some fill-in transitional ideas in between that. Some of the time I played those quarter note triple ideas. The tempo is here. It's all based in my mind on that flow of the broken eighth notes at that tempo with that song. And that's that song.